So, if you clicked on this video, it's because you needed to hear this message. I don't know if it was your guts. I don't know if it was your intuition. I don't even know if you just plain tired, but something led you to this. Stop being everything to everybody else but yourself. Stop giving yourself away. That was me. Like, I was a doormat. Like, I really was a doormat. I had this strong ass personality, but at the same time, I was always too giving, and there is a such thing as being too giving. You know, when we think about giving, we always think about money, giving money. But what about your time? What about your efforts or your energy that you give away freely? Do you ever think about why you're always feeling depleted? Do you ever think about why you're feeling drained all the time? Do you ever feel used? Do you ever feel like no one ever pours into you? It's probably because you are so busy pouring yourself, your love, and everything into everybody else, and it's not being reciprocated. Reciprocity, it's not being reciprocated, and you're feeling this way, but you can't pinpoint why. That's the reason why. So I want to talk about it. I want to talk about you giving yourself freely away consistently and not getting nothing in return. And welcome to She Sound Off, where we heal your spirit, practice self-transformation, and learn to live in our highest consciousness in the highest version of ourselves. I was one of those people that just used to give myself away. And if I'm honest, a lot of that was ego. I used to pride myself on being Captain Save a person. I always wanted to save people. I guess because of my childhood, I wanted to be saved and nobody really saved me when I needed to be saving. So I developed this savior complex to where I felt like I wanted to always save people. So I freely opened myself up to everything and everybody around me. And I always felt depleted. I always felt like nothing was enough for me because nobody ever fed back into me the energy that I gave to them. You know, I was pouring from an empty cup consistently. I was running on fumes consistently because I had this complex where I had to save everybody, right? But there was nothing in me that I had to give to them. So I would create things. I will pour from my last. I will pour from the energy that I don't even have. And then I was always mentally tired. I was always emotionally drained. I was always feeling like, even it got to a point where I was even feeling sick sometimes. I would get this nauseated feeling in my stomach or nauseous feeling in my stomach when I would be in situations where I felt I was left feeling depleted. So I gave away my time, my energy, and this is probably you. Let me know if this rings a bell. Are you giving one of these things away? Your time, your energy, your resources. That was big. People always think about money when you think about resources, but there's other resources like, can you give me a ride, or can you watch the children, or can you do this for me? Can you take me here? Those are resources. I was giving away my body, not just in a sexual space, but I was giving away my body by doing physical things for people when those same people that I was doing those physical things for would have never lifted a finger for me. And it was sexual too. I was giving my love away. Oh my God. Like, that is the story of my life. I was giving my love away to people in these relationships that did not deserve me. I was giving my love away. And what I mean by love, I mean, I was being faithful, honest. I did a lot of things for, the people who I was in relationships with. And it wasn't reciprocated in a way or in a space of how I was giving mine away. There had to be something in return. I don't love like that. When I love, I really love you. So if I'm giving you something, if I'm giving you my love, I don't require, it's unconditional. That is what love is. And so I don't require nothing back, but the people who I was with, they required something back. And when I wasn't able to perform or give them what they wanted back, I was the villain. I was giving my trust away to disloyal people who I can't even count on in my most vulnerable times. I was giving my trust away. I was giving my space away, letting people come live in my house, letting people just occupy my space, and didn't even deserve it. Like they were energy sucking vampires. And I would allow them in my space, in my home, my sacred space. I want y'all to realize that your home is your sacred space. And when you allow people inside of your home who mean you no good, who just coming to use you, and mentally, not physically, but mentally and emotionally abuse you, you are giving away your space. You know, where else can you feel comfortable, vulnerable, happy, relaxed other than your home? But there's a lot of us that allow people to come and live in our home, visit our home, and bring the negative energy into our home, into our sacred space. That was me. I was giving my money away to people. I was always loaning or giving. I was a big giver. I was giving these things away to people who did not deserve it. I want you to understand something. If you're in a relationship with somebody, anybody, family or friends, business partners, whatever, and you can allow yourself to give away your time, because they're going to they're going to honor your time, they're going to respect your time. If you're giving away your resources, if you're giving away your space to people and they truly honestly deserve it and appreciate it, and it is reciprocated, that is the most important part of this message. If you're giving these things away to people and they are reciprocated, then by all means, because this world is, it's enough low vibrational negative energy, selfish people in this world, that only want to take. But if you are around givers, then by all means give. But I'm talking about when you are giving all these things to people, and you're not getting anything back in return. You notice that, you would be making people consistently withdrawn from your bank of energy. This is how I think about it. People are consistently drawn from your bank of energy, but when you need to withdraw, you can't even, it's so negative. Like, no, we're not doing that anymore. Stop giving yourself, or stop being everything for everybody else but yourself. Particularly, I was in a relationship, and I was in about a 7-year relationship. And I just thought about this. It seems like a lot of my trauma come from relationships. That's crazy. I didn't even think about that. I really never even thought about that. But anyway, I was in this relationship with someone, and when I got with this person, I was pretty young, right? And he was older than me by a lot of years. And so before I got with him, I was young and I was vibrant. I felt like I had the world at my fingertips. I felt like I can do anything, and I did. Anything that I set my mind to, I did it, and I conquered it. But I got with this person who was not in the right frequency for me. Like, we were on two different levels, but the person had charm. This person had, like, they got me. Like, they said the right things. They performed at the beginning of the relationship perfectly to pull the wool over my head. Like, they put the rose colored glasses on me when I first met them, and they did a lot of manipulation tactics on me. The fact that I was young and they were older, now that I'm older, I know that a lot of things that was how that relationship came about, a lot of it was through manipulation. A lot of times people will attack your weak spot, learn them, figure out where their weakness is, and just prey on that weakness. And that is what he did. And so I ended up falling in lust for him. What I thought was love, it was not. I lusted the idea of him. I lusted the physical part of him. I lusted not particularly him. I lusted the idea. And so we were together, and the whole relationship, it was just draining me, y'all. It was so bad. Like, I remember particularly just falling to my knees and crying and saying to him, like, what can I give you that I haven't given you already? Tell me. And I'm crying, and I'm literally on my knees at this point, because I'm steady trying to fulfill someone who cannot be fulfilled. And so they were always like taking me emotionally through these roller coasters and twists and turns and stuff, making me feel like nothing that I did was enough, but consistently requesting things of me all the time. When I finally got the strength to walk away officially for good, because I left this person multiple times, multiple, but I kept coming right back because the manipulation tactic was, I need something that they have. But when I finally got the strength to really walk away from this person, um, I wasn't who I was when I started that relationship. The relationship lasted for 7 years. I was in my early 20s when I got with them. And by the time I left, I was totally different. Um, I was fragile, really fragile. Because for 7 years, I was emotionally beat down by someone who knew exactly what they were doing, who knew exactly how to just drain me. And I gave every single thing that I had in that relationship because at that time, I felt like that's what you're supposed to do when you're in a relationship, right? You're supposed to give a person your all. Wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. And I realized that if you don't escape those energy sucking vampires, if you don't get away from those situations and those people who will deplete you emotionally, stress you out, continuously take, it can change you. It can change how you move. It can change the dynamic of your future. Like I was a fireball when I first met this person, and leaving it, my self-esteem went from here to here. Like it went, my self-esteem was completely shot, y'all. And it was because I allowed that person to take everything I had. And then I had to build that self-esteem back up. And I remember, the person used to break me down so much, talk about my weight, and I'm fine. Okay, my body is on point. All right. Check the receipts. Go to my Instagram, She Sound Off, right? Go through these videos on here. Like that person literally made me feel so low. Talk about how I was ugly and how nobody is gonna want me, and how I'm never gonna find nobody like them because he took care of me when I all the time had income and a job and stuff. Like I held it down. I'm a really good person and I'm a really good woman. And the fact that I was able to give so much to that relationship helped me see how good of a woman that I was. But I wasn't seeing me for who I really was. I was seeing me from the light and from the garbage that he fed into me. And the person was like taking from me every chance they got. So after that relationship, it became a domino effect. And I started to have a pattern of dating the same kind of people over and over again because I was dating the potential of them. And I was so used to being everything for that person, everything for other people around me, that I was consistently attracting the same kind of people, the same kind of situations. Just recently, I realized that I had to stop being everything for everybody but myself. I had to stop allowing people to control me mentally, emotionally. I had to stop allowing people to just drain me. And y'all, sometimes you have to literally just walk away, because it was hard for me to say no to people. It still is. I'm still working through that. I'm a work in progress. But it was hard for me to say no to people. Hard no's. And I would sacrifice the things that I had, all of everything that I just named, my resources, my love, my time, my energy, my body. I would sacrifice myself just to say yes, because I didn't want to say no to people. I didn't want to disappoint people. I was so disappointed growing up as a kid that I didn't want to disappoint anybody. So I allowed that to control me in my adulthood. And it broke me down. So if you're watching this, because like I said in the beginning, you were literally drawn to this video for a specific reason, whether it be the title, whether it be my pretty face, I don't know. But I need you to know that you don't have to say yes. You can say no to those people, okay? Because I guarantee you they'll say no to you. Stop being everything for everybody but yourself. I flipped the script. I started to feed into myself. So, and I had to do a hard pass on everybody. I had to take a moment for myself and say, okay, I have to build myself up. I need a break from the world. I was able to replenish my energy. I learned what real energy was about. I studied it. I started to learn how energy transmute. I started to learn how it's transferred. And that was really big because I stopped being around people in the physical presence of people because I don't have the energy to invest in you. And if I allow myself even in your space, you have the ability to rub your negative energy off on me, and that's a no-go. I did that enough in my life. I'll pass. At this point, I need to be poured into. So if you're not pouring into me the way I need to be poured into in this space, I can't have you around me. And that is it. Definitely stop giving away my love. I definitely stop giving away my trust. People will disappoint you if you allow them to. And, you know, I had to stop allowing people to disappoint me. So I had to just pour into myself and build myself up. And now I'm here. And now I can tell you very confidently that you need to stop giving yourself and being everything for everybody else but yourself. And you can do it. So I think I'm going to follow up with this video with how. Because, you know, it's easy to tell a person to do something, but to tell them how to do it, that's a whole nother beast. That's a whole nother subject, and it's a whole nother video. So the next video I'm going to make, y'all, is how to stop being everything for everybody but yourself. All right. So hopefully that rung somebody's bell. Hopefully that, you know, woke you up. It woke up your spirit to say, I'm done. I'm walking away. I'm pouring into me. I'm giving my time, my energy, my resources, everything back to me. And then when I am a full cup and my cup is overflowing, then I'll be able to give some back. Then I'll be able to give some back, but only to the people who deserve it. And the people who deserve it are the people who's going to keep my cup runneth over. So, you guys remember that self-preservation is the first law of nature. Love yourself before you love anything and anybody else in this world. And remember to lead with your heart chakra. Everything else will follow. Subscribe to She Sound Off. And see you next time. Bye, little stars.